Hello, everybody. Welcome to another fun and awesome episode of Youth Connect. I'm Aiden,
I'm Jeffrey.
and you are tuning in to Youth Connect. Happy Friday, guys. I hope that you're having a wonderful day. Let's get it out of the way so that we don't have, or we can process it in our brains. Today is going to be an episode where we're going to have two recordings, one for Logan and one for Kevin. So don't worry, you'll get all of your news today, but some of them might be live and some of them might be recordings. It'll be a mix of the both. I know that you guys are going to love Youth Connect. And for those who don't know, what in the world is Youth Connect? Well, Youth Connect is a news, interest, entertainment show that was created for people with all abilities and to share the news because you know what? Sometimes it's important to keep our information coming from a source that we can trust. Anyways, I know that as broadcasters and entertainers, we want to be included in opportunities for acting, directing, writing, chefs, speakers, artists, and musicians. You know what they say, you name it, and we want to at least try it once. This is gonna be a show that I know you're going to love. And if you guys don't know, with Youth Connect, the first thing that we always have to do is some gaming news. All right, guys. So today's game of the week, I thought something interesting, something fun. Actually, I was a bit late on this one because this one for today's game of the week is Donkey Kong Country Returns HD. So, what is Donkey Kong Country Returns HD? Well, it is actually an awesome game that was originally created for the Nintendo Wii. So, you will jump, roll, and stomp through Donkey Kong Island in 2D platforming action and help Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong recover their precious banana hoard from the villainous Tiki Tak tribe. You'll be stomping enemies, blasting through barrels, and riding rockets and mine carts, and even Rambi the Rhino in 80 levels across 9 unique and fun worlds. Now, like I said, you'll be able to, if you haven't played the game as if it was first designed or as it was first designed for the Wii system, or reduce the difficulty for extra hearts and other goodies to make your journey a little easier. Now, if you guys know, there are actually multiple versions of this game that were released. There was the Wii version and the 3DS version. So this barrel blasting adventure is visually enhanced in HD for the Nintendo Switch system and actually includes the extra levels from the Nintendo 3DS version. So it has the best of all three worlds. I recommend that if you haven't played Donkey Kong Country, I recommend that you check out this game. This game was absolutely fantastic. I played it myself, went back in the day, and it was a lot of fun, so I hope you check it out. Anyways, how easy was that? Next up, we're going to be having our awesome Kevin, which is going to be sharing some all important news, sports, and weather, but more importantly, that interesting fact that's going to be shared. Whatever could it be?
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Uconnect News. I'm your host, Kevin Aruja. Let's get right into the headlines. Only 10 TTC service routes are meeting the goal for on-time performance, and bunching may be to blame. The union representing 30,000 City of Toronto workers votes for strike mandate. The East End Toronto businesses struggling amid Ontario line construction. And Toronto Blue Jays introduced Anthony Santander after slugging signs 5-year deal. Only 10 of the TTC 179 bus and streetcar routes are meeting the transit agency's benchmark for on-time service during rush hour, and the so-called bunching of vehicles may be to blame, a new report has found. The report, prepared by the transit advocacy organization's TTC Riders, is based on internal TTC data that was obtained through the Freedom of Information request and covers a period between September 1st and November 16th of last year. It found that on 10 routes, riders waited 50% longer than scheduled on average due to bunching, which is when a bus or streetcar is late and reaches a stop at the same time as the next one do. There were also another 41 routes where riders waited 30% longer on average. The report found that there were only 10 routes where the TTC was able to deliver on its own goal of 90% on time performing during rush hour. The new TTC budget for 2025 included money to fund a new pilot project that will work to reduce bunching along 10 problematic routes. The report argues that the TTC's on-time performance metrics that are shared in monthly CEO reports to the board do not reveal enough about the state of service and reliability that transit riders experience, owing it part to the fact that the TTC only measures on-time performance at the end of its routes. However, Green said that although are limitations with measuring on-time performance at the end terminals, this measuring point is important because it ensures that the service departs evenly. A union representing some 30,000 inside workers at the City of Toronto says its members have overwhelmingly voted in favor of strike mandates if bargaining fails to yield a deal. The union represents city workers in public health, planning, city hall operations, employment and social services, cleaning, court services, ambulance dispatch, childcare, 311, recreational programming, shelters, water and food inspections, and long-term care. CUPE Local 79%, CUPE Local 79 President Naz Yadalahi told reporters on Tuesday that over 90% of workers who took part in the vote over the weekend opted to give the union a strike mandate. She noted that 43% of part-time recreation workers are being paid for minimum wage, while 94% of them are being paid less than $26 per hour. She said they also have no time off, no sick days, and limited benefits. No strike deadline date has yet been set. The union last sat down with the city 10 days ago, and bargaining is set to resume on Thursday. In a statement, the city said it continues to bargain in good faith with CUPE Local 79 to reach a fair and reasonable collective agreement that reflects the important work of city employees while also providing value for money for Toronto residents and businesses. She said, amid inflation and the high cost of living, a strike would put at risk affordable service that residents rely on. In a news conference, Mayor Olivia Chow says she is hopeful a deal that can be reached through negotiations. The strike vote comes as the city's 2025 budget process is underway, and the union has previously called for millions of dollars for workers in the latest city budget in order to compensate for a decade of austerity. The East Toronto retailer George Carolumbus fears 2025 may spell the end of his long-standing business, Greek World. Carolumbus store Greek World is located on the same stretch as Pape Avenue, near Cosburn Avenue, where contractors for Metrolinx are replacing and relocating sewers in preparation for the excavation and construction of Ontario's Line Future Cosburn Station. This work began in earnest in late November and is expected to last about 4 months. The long-term store manager, Luis Alcantara, the shop's only employee, called the situation's a gong show. Carolumbus has said next to the summer, the holidays are the busiest time of the year, but that wasn't the case this past December. To make ends meet, he said that he has been selling his wares at various markets and events will have to pick up some supply teaching jobs as well. Because of the work, she said she can no longer access her parking spots and is unable to sell plants like the former owner did in a small area next to her store. Song says she knew that there would be construction of Pape when she bought the store, but didn't anticipate that it would impact her business to such an extent and last so long. This wasn't the way the 80-year-old entrepreneur planned to retire. However, with years of Ontario line construction to come, Marco Polo said she has run out of options as she isn't one to accept assistance from the government. Carolumbus, who has owned and operated Greek World for 23 years, said he feels more must be done to support businesses impacted by the Ontario line construction. And now moving forward for the sports news, General Manager Ross Atkins sets in the Blue Jays jersey with Anthony Satanda's name on it was floating around our office throughout the off-season. The veteran slugger finally put on Toronto uniform on Tuesday afternoon. The Blue Jays formally introduced Satender at the team's player development complex in Dunedin a day after his 5-year US $92.5 million contract was announced. For Atkins, this addition of a big bat was sorely needed as an offseason that was crying out for a fan's first addition to address the team's main weak points in 2024. After wildcard playoff appearance in 2020, 22, and 23, the Blue Jays were last in the American League East last year at 74 out of 88. September hit 225 with a 506 slugging percentage last season while making the American League All-Star team for the first time. A switch hitter with power from both sides, Satander has averaged 35 homers, 95 RBIs, and 153 games played over the last 3 seasons. He is the first high-profile free agent to sign with the Blue Jays this winter. Atkins, who held his first media availability in about 6 weeks, wanted the focus to be on Satander on Tuesday. The GM didn't bite when asked about his pursuit of other free agents or the status of contract extension talks with Guerrero. Satander signed with Cleveland as an international free agent in July 2011, and he was selected by Baltimore in the Rule 5 draft in December 2016. In today's weather forecast, we've got mainly sunny this afternoon. The temperature is now -5 degrees. And tomorrow we will get cloudy with sunny breaks, and temperature will be -5 degrees. And now moving forward for the interesting fact. And my topic is going to be Lunar New Year. Lunar New Year is the beginning of a new year based on lunar calendars, or informally but more widely, lunisolar calendars. Lunar calendars follow the lunar phase, when the lunisolar calendars follow both the lunar phase and the time of the solar year. The event is celebrated by numerous cultures in various ways at diverse dates. So I have 6 interesting facts about Lunar New Year. The first fact is it is the biggest holiday in Asian culture. Exactly. The Lunar New Year is the oldest and most important holiday in China, and is also celebrated in countries like Indonesia, Japan, Malaysia, South Korea, Singapore, Thailand, the Philippines, and Vietnam. The second fact is it's also called the Spring Festival. Even though the winter weather is still around, true, but the Lunar New Year is also called the Spring Festival. The holiday welcomes the beginning of spring. The traditional Chinese lunar calendar originated about 4,000 years ago, and it was created to divide the year into seasons for agriculture. Because the new year falls around the time the sun is entering opposition to start a gradual warming, many farmers will start planting crops, signifying the beginning of spring. The third fact is many traditions, like wearing the color red, was started from an ancient legend about a monster. For example, legend has it that many people tried to warn off neon with food, but wearing red is what ultimately drove the monster away. It's also why fireworks are a big part of the traditions. The fourth fact is that they change every year. Yes, many Chinese rulers debated the start of the festival, and for years, the dates went back and forth. It finally was decided that it should follow the traditional Chinese lunar calendar. This marked the beginning of the festival as the first new moon of the year and ends with full moon, which is 15 days. This means it can fall anywhere between January 21st and February 21st. The fifth fact is red envelopes are giving out. It is a tradition to give your friends and family bright red envelopes filled with money. But it's not about the money, it's about the envelopes. The envelopes, they symbolize good wishes and luck for the year ahead. With today's technology, many people have exchanged digital red envelopes instead of the traditional paper ones. And the last fact is greetings go beyond Happy New Year. Yes, in Western culture, we say Happy New Year and make resolutions. But in Eastern cultures, the New Year is welcome with wishes of luck. health, and good fortune. In Mandarin, typically you would say Gongxi Fachai, which means, or that means, wishing you a prosperity and wealth. And we come to the end of my segment. Tune in for next week's news, weather, and your favorite interesting fact. This is Kevin Aruja, and it's back to you, Aiden.
How interesting is that? Now, I will always say it like that. I will say, might have heard a bit of noise during Kevin's thing. You know what? It's okay. We have technical difficulties all the time. But also, fun fact, I want to make sure that you guys have a very awesome happy Lunar New Year or happy Chinese New Year. And remember, when Chinese New Year happens, make sure that you spend time with family. You don't shower, sweep, or throw out garbage till the 5th. So do your garbage and do your stuff now, and make sure to have lots of yummy dumplings. I absolutely love Chinese New Year. Honestly, it's a bunch of fun. For you, Jeff, have you heard of Chinese New Year, or is this
Yeah.
your first time hearing about it?
No, I've heard of Chinese New Year before.
Oh, that's awesome. You know what? Lots of eating usually during Chinese New Year, and a lot of red. You'll definitely see a lot of red. All right. Thank you so much, Kevin. Appreciate it as always. And time to bring you your second gaming news. So, guys, very, very important. Just a week after Nintendo revealed its plans for a new iteration of the Switch coming this year, gaming fans got another round of news from the Xbox Developer Direct event. Founded in 2023, the yearly Microsoft event hosts game developers with fresh projects to announce for the upcoming year and beyond. This year, players already knew to expect a more in-depth look at coming 2025 releases Doom, The Dark Ages, South of Midnight, and Claire Obscur Expedition 33. And I actually have all of these here. So first of all, we'll talk about South of Midnight, which is developed by Compulsion Games, the same team behind We Happy Few and Contrast. The upcoming third-person action-adventure game South of Midnight will follow protagonist Hazel through a southern gothic adventure in which she confronts monsters and figures from deep South folklore. Now, here comes the interesting ones. Ninja Gaiden 4. After more than 10 years, there will be a new installation to the mainline Ninja Gaiden action series. Ninja Gaiden 3 hit way back in 2012, entitled simply Ninja Gaiden 4, developed by Team Ninja and Platinum Games. The game is set in a devastated post-apocalyptic Tokyo, filled with dark visuals, new enemy types, and fresh gameplay that builds on and modernizes the franchise's classic and familiar functions. We also have an interesting one called Claire Obscure Expedition 33. Developed by Sandfall Interactive, it is a turn-based role-playing game with real-life mechanics set in 1933 in a world based on the oh my goodness, Epoch, France. France. I think that's how you say it. Putting a heavy emphasis on role-playing, story, and in-character interactions alongside a wide array of options for character build and playstyle. And the game will also boast a 3D world map. And lastly, but not least, my friend was nonstop talking about this. Doom: The Dark Ages. Set in a medieval sci-fi fantasy world, Doom: The Dark Ages is a prequel to Doom 2016 that promises a return to form. The gameplay will be tankier and therefore more in line with the original than the lighter, more agile feel of Doom Eternal. Described by developer ID Software or id Software as a stand-and fight game, Doom: The Dark Ages will feature more powerful guns, more balanced enemies, and the chance to finally pilot your own mechs, including a giant Atlan and cybernetic dragon. So, interestingly enough, Doom: The Dark Ages is release is set for May 15th, 2025 for Xbox Series S and X and PC and PlayStation 5. So, lots of awesome news. If you guys want to check more of the amazing releases, make sure to check out the Xbox Developer Direct event, which I'm pretty sure is on YouTube. Anyways, though, this has been your second gaming news, and I'm going to be taking you to Logan for some cooking knowledge. I can't wait to see what he has to share with us today.
and the baked good in general. So, for today's topic, I'll go over what exactly flour is and the different types of flour. Now, first off, what exactly is flour? Now, flour, in its basic terms, is a powder that is made from ground grain, roots, beans, nuts, or seeds. All-purpose flour, which is the flour that most people probably have in their homes already, is made specifically from whole wheat grains, specifically the white part of the grain that's inside of it called the endosperm. Now, whole wheat flour is made in the same way but includes the entire rest of the grain, including the germ and the bran. Now, to go over some other types of flour that you've probably heard of and what exactly they are, bread flour has a much higher protein content than all-purpose. It's made the same way with whole wheat, but these whole wheats have much more protein than normal. And this protein is to help aid in the gluten development, to help develop bread with substantial structure. And that's why it's called bread flour. Now, cake and pastry flour is the exact opposite. This flour has much lower protein content. And this will give baked goods like cookies, cakes, or other treats a much more soft and tender bite to it. Now, semolina flour is a flour that is made from a specific wheat known as durum wheat. And semolina flour is considered the preferred flour for making fresh pasta. It basically just has like the right moisture and the right gluten development. That's why it's preferred to make pasta. Next up, we have corn flour. Now, corn flour is probably more commonly known to all of you as cornstarch, and it is made using ground corn kernels. Cornstarch is used sometimes in baking, but its main property is being used as a thickener for different sauces. Now, cornmeal is the exact same thing as corn flour, actually. It's made from ground corn kernels, but this time it's a much coarser grind. Instead of a powdery sort of texture, it's more like a sandy texture. And we all know cornmeal, it's used to make a bunch of different corn-based southern goods like cornbread, polenta, all that sort of good stuff. But there are also several different types of flour that are gluten-free. For example, there are different nut flours, which are made from ground nuts. Some examples of these can include almonds, chestnuts, and acorns. In a similar sense, bean flours are also a thing, and they're made from ground beans or legumes, such as peanuts, lentils, and chickpeas. And some other examples of flours that are gluten-free, which can be used actually as a replacement for all-purpose flour in order to make a specific baked good gluten-free. Some of these flours can include potato flour, which is of course made from dried potatoes, and oat flour, which is made from oats. But anyway, those are just a couple of the examples of all the different types of flours in the world. Thank you all for listening. I hope you all learned something about the most common ingredient in your baking. Thank you all for listening, and back to you, Hayden.
Thank goodness I don't have all of my cooking ingredients put together, because I definitely would be very confused about which one is which. I'd just be scratching my head because I did not know that there were so many different types of flours. I thought there was like a cooking flour, a dessert flour, and that's it. But apparently there are so many more, and that is absolutely mind-blowing. Anyways, time to bring you some community news. Who's excited for that? So this is what happened with our super ability crew. You know, every 9:30 during Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, we did our morning Tabata, where we did some movement. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we did morning chat. So you know what? A lot of movement, a lot of chatting every morning. We really tried to kick the day off with our community chat, and it was always a great way to connect, share updates, and start the day with positive vibes and laughter. On Monday, we explored geography, diving into the continents and oceans of the world, and our crew enjoyed a fun group challenge and learned interesting facts about Earth wonders. On Tuesday, Chef Miss Christine brought her culinary expertise to teach us how to make cheese smashed potatoes. The crew added their own creative toppings and shared delicious results. On Wednesday, we did photography, experimenting with lighting, angles, and storytelling through photos. And then on Thursday, I myself taught a cooking session where we taught a simple chicken and rice recipe, but more importantly, a tomato chicken and rice recipe. It was delicious. And then, as per usual, on Friday, we did our trivia where we challenged everybody. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't get number 1. I actually got number 3. How crazy is that? Definitely stunning for me. I think I'm going to have to try a little bit harder next time. Anyways, this has been our community news. Very simple, very sweet. If you want to be part of the awesome events that we do every 2 weeks, I recommend that you check it out. Anyways, next up, we have to do our final thing. I always like saying is the cherry on top of Youth Connect. We have to go to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey's going to be bringing us some live music. How exciting!
Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? I'm Jeffrey, and you know what time it is. It's time to get up, get dancing, and move your body about. And I'm going to be playing Hard Day's Night by the Beatles. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night. I should be sleeping like a log. But when I get on to you, I find the things that you do will make it feel alright. You know I work all day to get your money to buy your things, and it's worth it just to hear you say you're gonna give me everything. So why not shut them up? Cause when I get you alone, you know I feel okay. When I'm home, everything seems to be right. When I'm home, feeling you holding me tight, tight. It's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night. I should be sleeping like a log. And when I get under you, find things that you do make me feel alright. But when I get under you, find the things that you do will make me feel alright. When I'm home, everything seems to be right. When I'm home, feel you holding me tight, tight. Yeah, it's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night. Should be sleeping like a log. But when I get under you, I find the things that you do will make you feel alright. But when I get on you, I find the things that you do will make me feel alright. When I'm home, everything seems to be right. When I'm home, feel you holding me tight. Yeah, it's been a hard day's night, and I've been working like a dog. It's been a hard day's night. I should be sleeping like a log, but when I get on you, all the things that you do will make you feel alright. But when I get on you, I find the things that you do will make you feel alright. But when I get on you, I find the things that you do will make you feel alright. You know I feel alright. Yes, I feel alright. No, I feel alright. You know I feel alright. Yes, I feel alright. You know I feel alright. Thank you so much, everyone. This is Jeffrey, your live musician. See you all next week, and make sure to check out my website, jeffreyhankeman.com. Anyways, it's back to Aiden. Bye, everybody.
Going to feel all right. I definitely feel all right with that song, Jeff. That was an amazing song choice. And you know what? It was a fantastic episode of Youth Connect. Now, if you liked Youth Connect, can you do a few things for me? I need you to like, I need you to comment, and I need you to subscribe. But there's something else that I also need you to do.
Bell.
What's that, Jeff? Can you say it one more time?
Notification bell. And don't forget to click the notification bell.
Okay. Thank you so much, Jeff. You know what? 3 times, definitely got it in my ear the 3rd time, for sure. Anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode of Youth Connect. We will see you guys in 2 weeks. I hope that you have an amazing Chinese New Year or Lunar New Year. If you do celebrate, if you don't celebrate it, I will wish you personally, from myself, Happy Chinese New Year. It's coming up, and I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day. All right, guys, catch you later, and have